To start, all you need is really a valid URL. But what does valid mean in this case? Basically, it means that our crawler is successfully able to contact the website server, and the server returns a green light, essentially, to allow us to crawl it. So now keep in mind, there will be some sites that will not simply be crawlable because of their extra security layers. We've done our best to bypass most of these security measures, but occasionally there will be some that we just can't access. A good example of that is Uber.com. You'll notice that there's a nice big red error. But Apple.com, for example, is fine and available. So we'll enter this URL, and the next thing we'll do is look at the Max pages. We suggest to do a test crawl at first, and this does what? It actually protects you from not wasting all your credits and lets you run a short example of a sitemap so that you can tell if there's anything out of the ordinary that could be blocking the content that you want to screenshot, for example, pop-ups or any other roadblocks. If there's anything there that you see, just let us know via live chat and we'll easily personally address that and make sure it's removed. Okay, so let's do a quick sample. Just click crawl and it'll run. So the crawl should take about 6 seconds per page depending on traffic. And when it's done, just take a look and confirm if everything looks just as you expected. And I hope it does. And if it does, then you're ready for the full crawl. So now we're ready for a full crawl, and you could put in just a base URL, or you could put in a URL with a path. And if you do the path, then everything from that path will be crawled. Note that if you only want to crawl pages that have this path while excluding everything else, then you will need to use our advanced include only filter. Max pages, again, if you put in 100, it'll only crawl up to 100. If you leave that blank, it'll crawl everything that it finds, and the only limit is the limit that your monthly plan has. The depth, that is done by levels, so it's level 1, 2, 3, 4, as many as you wish. So if you wanted to crawl something like apple.com/shop/buy-iPhone/iPhone 8/specs, that would be 4 depths right there, and it'll only go up to that. The depths are only based on the directory structure at this time. Now if you leave the max depth blank, it'll just crawl the full depth structure that it finds. The advanced settings are really powerful, and we're going to have a separate video just for that, but basically it allows you to exclude or include directories or keywords, and you can use them in combination with each other. The benefits there are enormous because you can create sitemaps exclusively around very specific paths and sections and not be using all of your credits up when you don't need to. So for example, if I wanted to exclude the dog directory or the cat directory or the bird directory, I can easily do it this way. And any items in these fields are always using the OR as the option. If you're doing keywords, then it will do a search for that word in the directory, in the URL that can be matched either in a strict way or in a fuzzy way. So if the URL happens to be pet.com/cats toys, it'll match that in the keyword just because the word cat is part of that URL. Likewise, if you put in a combination of excluding directories and keywords, it will look for the exact combination of the dog directory along with a keyword of cat inside the URL. So it has to be an exact match in this particular case. The inverse is with the includes. If you put in dog, it will only return URLs that have /dog in that directory. I will not return things like dogs or doggy. It's quite strict in that way. But if you put in cat next to that, it'll look for either one of those two in the URL structure. Lastly, one real powerful feature for the exclude keywords is for pagination. So let's say you have a URL that has this kind of format, page 1, page 2, page 3, just by putting this basic string in that is repetitive in your paginations, you could easily do away with tons of extraneous pages. Another nifty feature we have is called overcrawl protection. It prevents your crawl from stopping cold if you run out of your monthly limit for screenshots. It can be set in two places, either on a per crawl basis or on a team account configuration. And so when should it be used? Well, if you're not sure how big the site is and you need to crawl all of it, then we highly recommend this setting. This will crawl only up to 30% more screenshots of your current plan's monthly limit, but only if you happen to go over. You need to note that any overage will also be deducted from your next month's plan. Also, once the 30% is reached, the crawl will stop cold. So if you feel you need any more coverage, you just need to upgrade. Also, if you have selected overdraft protection, you will not be able to create a new sitemap after reaching 0 credits. So be careful there. So our last major feature here is the logins, and these are essentially used for crawling sites that require credentials, such as admin user dashboards, user-specific flows, staging sites that are in progress, intranets, things of that nature. One thing to note is you could use a temporary password if you want to increase your security needs. On our end, we use enterprise-grade symmetric encryption, AES 256 bits, which your security folks would like to hear. And we do store these credentials only on a temporary basis while we are crawling. After the crawl is completed, they are immediately removed. So let's get crawling. For a full crawl, we're going to crawl the New York Times, and I'm going to limit this only to about 20 pages and go in for the full depth. As we're waiting, you can see the status here is pending. The time it would take to crawl really depends on a lot of various uncontrollable things like internet traffic and the queue of crawlers that we have at the time. Right away, you'll notice that there's already an estimate of how many pages we found at this time. That number will surely increase as we find more and more links on more consecutive pages. At any time during the progress of the crawl, you can view it and take a look and see how things start moving along. Here you'll have the progress bar on the left. At any time you could stop the crawl or you can pause it. If you pause it, you could easily restart it later at any time. If you stop it, it stops cold and you will not be able to, at this time, restart it. In the future, you will. If the pages start to increase and you want to see what they look like on the map, just simply click reload and you'll notice the map starts to grow as we find more pages. Now that this crawl is done, you'll see a tree map of the structure. It's based really on the URL paths at this time, In the future, it'll be much more flexible with direct link-to-link, a non-URL structure. For example, this particular page, you'll notice, is inside the 2019/10/2 URL schema, and you can see the full URL right here by clicking on the actual screenshot. Great. So to navigate around this map, especially larger ones, all you need to do is zoom in and zoom out, or click drag to pan around. And you'll also notice this tree visualization comes in different orientations, both in landscape and in portrait mode. Also, on our immediate roadmap, we'll soon be releasing a powerful search feature that will allow quick access to any pages on this map, as well as other data visualization models and contextual data analytics to boot. So one last detail that we're working on is the ability to restructure and edit a sitemap. Today you can see a glimpse of that magic by simply dragging and dropping any node into any other node. As you can see, it's quite fun and powerful, and it's coming soon. What you can't do right now is save it, but you can export this as a PDF, and the structure will be retained. And you could also import this into Sketch, where you can additionally customize it for any of your presentational needs. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and please share us with your team, your mom, your family, distant relatives, your ex-boss, friends you haven't spoken to in a while, some community groups, some neighborhood schools, your alma mater, really anyone you can think of who wants to save a lot of time. Thanks.